Yeah. A quick attendance before we start, and I hope you all are doing great. Your preparation is on track. This is Thursday, and we are about to close one more week. Right? So tomorrow we'll be closing one more week. You will be closing one more week of your preparation. Yeah. So 1.0, 2.0, everyone here? Okay. So finally, the day has come when we will enter the core of medieval. Right? So now we are entering the core of the medieval. I won't take class after 21st April. No, I won't. Right? And so also one more thing. Is it fine if we have class, if we do a marathon class? We were planning a marathon before, but we could not. Right? So are you all aligned to a marathon on Saturday? Yeah. Sound all the way? Sound the same? System same? Yeah. Put headphones lगा दो please. How many classes are left of medieval? Okay. So I think we can say roughly 9. Okay, Priyanshu. Yeah, we can change the timing from tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. From Monday. From Monday we can change. But are we all aligned for for Saturday class? See, let's try that you get like 21st to 31st or 30th. This is which month? This is April. So 30th, right? The 21st to 30th, like 10 days. If you get free, my slot at least my slot is free, right? This will help you clear your backlogs. Plus you'll be able to revise. Yeah, and from first, I guess we are starting fresh from first. We are starting modern India. So you have this time. You have this time where you'll be able to complete everything before you get into modern India. Also, those who have something like those who are not studied ancient or some part is there. This is the point where they can revise. They can actually have better command, right? Better control, and then we can go into your this thing, your modern India, right? So yeah, okay. So let's not do marathon. Okay, aligned. Let's do you're saying marathon on Sunday. So my idea is why I'm basically pushing for this. I want to complete by 21st, right? Though we have slot, we can continue even after 21st, but then you will miss these 10 days, right? For backlogs, region and everything. If I extend the course beyond 21st, right? Then you will miss this time, right? You'll not be able to cope up, right? So my idea is, right? My proposal is that though I will have to kill my weekend, but let's have a small short class on Saturday and a marathon on Sunday. Are you aligned to this? Just be present. That's it. Right, target. Let's finish this by 21st. Anyhow, let's finish medieval by 21st. Are you aligned to this? A short class on Saturday, maybe like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, something. Whatever is pending, right? We'll finish on Saturday, and then we can have yeah, all aligned. Okay. Suppose if there are like 2 to 5% students who will not be able to attend, right? Then you can leave it for now, and once we finish the course after 20th or 21st, whenever we are able to finish the course, right? Then you can watch the classes, right? That also you can do. But believe me, this is like you can say one more chance, second chance for you to actually finish your backlogs and everything. Yeah, Saturday morning. Okay. Okay, done. So let's have a short class on Saturday. Let's have a marathon on Sunday. Take it done. So we are going ahead with this. So now let's get started. Let's get back to our discussion for today. So now let's hit the core today. So now today we are going to talk about the core. Again, let's build this timeline. Your A zone, B zone, C zone. Okay. So initially we started from roughly 600, right? 600 to 750. This was a zone. When we had Harsha, we had Chalukya, Pulakeshin, we had Pallavas. Yeah. Is this now on everyone's fingertip? Chalukyas. And now if you revise, you will have more names, to handle your command. Now right now maybe you only remember, let's say, Mahendravarma and Narasimhavarma. But now if you revise, because now this is sorted, the first layer is sorted. Now you can have more names like Rajasimha, more temples, like now you understand Rath as well, you understand there are some other temples as well, Kailash, Show temple, etc. So now more stories will gradually get associated with the number of with the increased number of religions. Right? Okay. Harsha now. Then we had gone into 752. By the way, again in Kashmir, a small dynasty we saw Karkota. Right? Then here we are talking about Gurjar Pratiharas, we are talking about Palas and Rajputas. Yeah. Okay. Plus we're also talking about a small dynasty in Kashmir, which is Utpala. Yeah, then Yashkara came. And here it was your Didda was ruling. Didda. Okay, anyway, let's get back. So now here again here we saw that now there are so many dynasties. Cholas actually started from here. Cholas are still there, but we remember that first 50 years are important. Right, by the way, try making mnemonics, try associating story. For example, for me it is Raja, right? And it's a song. So Raja and his son Rajendra. Right, so while reading, if you add fun to it, if you add, let's say, some mnemonics to it, this is something related, right? It will become very easy. And so if just looking at a fact, instead of just looking at a fact, if you associate some, let's say, random comedy to it, right, it will become much more easier. Anyway, so the first 50 years we know that Cholas are strong, but then we also understand that there are other dynasties coming in. For example, Hoysala. Yeah, we know ki Chalukyas are back. These are what? Western Chalukyas. Tell me the most important king of Western Chalukya. Let's see. Most important king. Yeah, after that was Lohara dynasty. Most important king. Let's see who tells. Western Chalukyas. Capital Kalyani. Yeah. Okay. And Didda was Yashkara dynasty, by the way. Utpal is still Sugandha only. Okay. So we are talking about most important king. Vikram VI. Very good. Vikram VI. Founder. We are talking not the founder. Most important. Who is most important? Right. Western Chalukyas. Also, we are talking about Senas here. Senas. We are talking about Gangas. And these are what? These are Eastern Gangas. And we also discussed Kalchari. Yesterday we were also able to place We were able to place जो है your Chauhan, Solanki, Bhima, Solanki, right? Solanki. Then Tomar at Delhi, and you must also know the center as well. Chauhan are at Sambar, right? Then Tomar, then Garhwalas, Kannauj, Garhwalas. What else? What else? Chandelas. Location Khajuraho, right? What else? There is one more, right? Which one? Which one? Parmar, Malwa, Mandu, Durg, Mandu, Bhat. है ना, पुलकेशिन इस बादाम में चालू किया, correct? It's not Pulkesin, it's Vikramaditya VI. Vikramaditya, Vikramanaka Devatarita, written by Bidhana. Yeah, and this story was by Kalhana. है ना, Kalsirana. So this was told by Kalhana. Kashmir, the Kahani of Kashmir is by Kalhana. Simple. Correct. K for Kashmir, K for Kalhana. Okay, so now we are going to talk about. We know this, but then yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay. So in the same time zone, let's understand what's happening in the world, right? This is your world, this is India, right? So in the same time zone, we would like to understand what is happening in the world, right? So China, I'm least interested, but still, if you want to know the story, so in China, it is basically Tang dynasty, right? China had the rule of Tang dynasty over here, right? Tang dynasty is the one who will actually flourish into trade with respect to Silk Route, or maritime route, etc. Plus ceramic, porcelain and all, for porcelain, ceramic, etc. So yes, it will be more about trade, but by your 900, close to 900, this empire will decline, and this will be replaced by Sung dynasty. Important, relevant, not very relevant. Or let's not write over here. Let's use this space. Close to 900, there is decline, and replaced by Sung, very weak now, and then Mongols will take over. Mongol Empire. Yeah. So China, if you see, China will be eventually taken over by. So initially it was Tang dynasty doing good. Till 900 doing good. It is even you can say reaching out or having extended control over the Central Asia part, right? But later on it will be captured by Mongol Empire. So if we see Mongol close to 1200, we see Mongol is one of the standpoint we have. Right? When we don't know. We'll come back to it. When? Right? But if you see that in leaving India, other than India, everything becomes Mongol. Yeah? Can you see that? This is after 1200. Of course, this is Genghis Khan died from 1227. Right? So this is close to 1200 or after 1200. You find that now the Mongols, so basically Genghis Khan, his descendants, have created a very, very big empire, and eventually China will also succumb to Mongols only. Right? So that is the small story of China. We are just basically tracing the other kingdoms. Right? So that we know what's happening in the world. Not very, very important. Don't have to be religiously followed. Right? We are not studying Chinese history. Not preparing for Chinese PSC, China PSC. Okay. Other than that, we understand that in Indonesia, there was Shailendra dynasty. You already know that. Shailendra dynasty. Right, Indonesia, Srivijaya kingdom. Right, plus your Cambodge. Cambodge is Cambodia plus Vietnam. You have already seen that. So not going into that direction. We already know that we have good maritime trade with all this. We have already seen Southeast Asian contact, Chinese contact, etc. Not going into that direction. Okay. Let's get back. Let's come back. So now let's go to Europe now. Europe, we see that if this is, let's say, India, and let's say this part is your West Asia. Right, let's leave West Asia for now. Let's go to Europe. I hope this is not overflowing. You can imagine, right? And like India, then West Asia, like Arabia and all, right? This part, and then here must be Africa, right? Let's say this is Africa, right? And here we understand that there is Europe. Make sense? Everyone? Yeah. Yeah, सब सो गए. Yeah, let me know what's going on. It's very simple. Like, right, Indian history, we have placed our Indian history over here from 600 to 1200. It is there. Right? We're just trying to understand. Meanwhile, in these 600, what's happening in the other areas. Not very important. We have to go understand the dynasties and all. But here, something is, something is boiling. Let's try and understand what's happening in Europe actually. Now, what happened? There was once upon a time, there was a Roman Empire, ancient Roman Empire. Now, this Roman Empire, which was main empire, and once upon a time it was like our main trading partner. Our economy was flourishing in ancient India because of this trade, because of this Roman trade. But now, close to 500 somewhere, it got split into two. Right? It got split into two. One is eastern part, another one is western part. So Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. Right? So this part is your Eastern Empire. Now Eastern Empire, if you see, this is nothing but Byzantine. This will take a new form, right? Byzantine Empire, and this will survive. Right? Not only survive, it's a very, very strong kingdom. Right? Strong centralized power, right? Byzantine. And in fact, this will stay. If this is happening, this split is happening, let's say in 500 CE. This will stay till 1453. Another 1000 years it will survive. So this is not going anywhere. Right, so Byzantine, I'll show you the map as well. Don't worry, try to understand the story first. Eastern Empire, basically the Eastern, the Roman Empire. Eastern Roman Empire is actually Byzantine Empire. It will emerge out as a Byzantine Empire after the split. Right, and it will survive. It will be there till 1453. Their capital is Constantinople. And at 1453 exactly is the fall of Constantinople, where they will be defeated by another kingdom, which is Ottoman. Important? नहीं, लिख लो बस, ठीक है, Ottoman. अभी पता है, हमें नहीं पता. Right, forget it. Something happened, but yes, it will survive for another 1000 years. Somebody defeated them in 1453. It's basically Muhammad, Ottoman Empire. If you know, great. If you don't know, it's okay. Right, so one part survived, which is basically Constantinople part, which is basically Turkey. Right, Turkey and nearby area survived, expanded, flourished. Well, great. But the other part, the eastern part, the western part, Western Roman side or Western Roman Empire, it will keep on declining. It will deteriorate. And from here starts your dark age in Europe. right? Dark age in Europe. So let me show you how. Okay, so Roman Empire, if you see, this is 117 AD. Great empire, awesome, super awesome, right? Doing very, very great. We were like, major trading partner. We were very, or they were very important for us. Our whole money was coming from them only. They were complaining about us, we are like sink of gold. So much money going to India, not good for their economy. So yes, that was the situation. That is in 117 AD, right? And this got split close to 500 somewhere. This got split into two, right? And this part is your Byzantine, right? This part is your Constantinople. So now it got split into the eastern part, right? The eastern part and the western part. Western part kept on declining. Western part will decline, and it will have dark age. Whereas the eastern part is the Byzantine Empire, it continued to flourish. It will be there. It will continue. Let the Byzantine Empire survive for another 1,000 years. Right, very strong monarchy, centralized administration, very good, very good. Right, yeah, Byzantine will survive. Now, Dark Age in Europe. What do you mean when you say Dark Age in Europe? Right, I hope you hear. Istanbul, yes, Constantinople is technically Istanbul. Good, okay. It is all written, even if you don't know, even if you don't write, and also you basically might not go into this. Right, I just want to establish the whole era time, why this is happening, what is happening, and that is the reason we are discussing this. Right, and otherwise it will be like blank, starting from Arabia, how and all. Right, that is the reason why Roman could not do anything, where the Romans have gone, etc. Okay, so now again, so now we realize that Europe has Dark Age. What is Dark Age? So starting from close to 500 till roughly 1000 or 10th century, right? This is termed as Dark Age. Europe, this is about Europe. So Europe has Dark Age, except for Byzantine Empire. Europe has Dark Age. Europe has Dark Age. That means will there be any scientific discovery in this era? No. Will there be any growth in this era? No. What is happening? Two things are happening. First, this is the time of feudalism. You say, yeah, sir, this is happening in India as well, feudalism. And second, this is the time where Christianity or religion will dominate. Right, both will dominate. So two things. First, feudalism, and second, Christianity. Both have their dominance in this era. Now, first, let's talk about feudalism. And this is actual feudalism. This is the classic actual meaning of feudalism. Right, we are using it in Indian context as well. We say that Rajput also, that is a feudal era, things divided based on land and etc. But now we are going to talk about the actual meaning from the word originally comes. Right, feudalism. So feudalism means that the king is the owner of the land. He is the owner of all the land. And since he is the owner of the land, he will give, let's say, this set of a land, which is called as fief, or a state, FIEF, or a state, a big state, to, let's say, one of the lord. Right, now this lord will have a small fort, a small manor. Right, that is manor, a big castle, not very big castle, a castle, right, a big courtly type. Right, so yeah, so he will have a manor. He will have serf under him, serf. A lot of serfs and their family, or basically serfs. Now what is serf? Serf is somewhere between free and slave. Right, they are bound to work for this lord. Right, they are bound to do agriculture over here. Right, he can use in other things as well. But this all tract of land will be cultivated by serf. Right, you can say they are farmers, they are peasants. The point is, difference between peasant and serf is you can't leave. They can't go and do anything else. They are associated with this land. They are not supposed to go anywhere. They are not supposed to leave. Yeah, understood? Guys, focus. So, Bandua Mazdoor, something like that, but not a slave, right? Not a slave, but he cannot leave. Plus, also, this lord is also supposed to hire a small, let's say, 10, 20 soldiers, cavalry, right? So 10, 20, 15, whatever, depends how much big land is. Right, and these are basically generally cavalry, or you can say a small regiment. Right, now the whole country is consisting of these five only. Now what is happening? You can understand that now there will be so many lords like this. Right, so king will be dependent upon L1, L2, L3, etc. This forms a new layer below king. Right, there is a possibility that there can be one more layer in between, but it's okay, let's consider this layer. There is a layer of lords, and then these lords have, below them, they have serf, and they have soldiers. Serf is dependent upon the lord for security, right, for service, for job. Soldier is again dependent upon lord for job, right, he is only the one who is providing money. Lord is dependent upon the king because he had allotted this. But king is dependent upon the lord because in the time of needs, first of all, this lord is the one who is providing revenue, resources, and these soldiers, army. The king is also dependent upon the lord. So everybody, and even lord is dependent upon the serf because they are the one who are producing. Lord is dependent upon the soldier because they are providing protection. Right. So technically, all these layers are dependent upon each other. It is creating a mesh. Right. And in this society where there is a lot of inequality, first of all, this lord is enjoying a lot because he's having a lot of money, and on the other hand, serf and all, the only purpose of their life is to cultivate. Right. So we can understand that in such scenario, can there be education? It's tough. Right, and can there be any reform or scientific inquiry, critical inquiry? No, nothing. Right, and that is the reason this age, till the system flourishes. Right, this age is called as Dark Age. Right, in Europe it is Dark Age. There is no scientific inquiry, and in such places, religions will thrive. Right, so religion will thrive over here. The second important thing over here is the church. Right, let's not say Christianity, let's say church and pope. Yeah. Now, because in such scenario, people will have only one thing to believe in, that is religion. Right, so they believe in church. Right, and here we will realize that even a lot of corruption will be associated, right? In all due respect, a lot of corruption will be associated to such institutes. For example, let's say one lord goes to church. Right, when Lord goes to church and says, "Gee, Father, I made a mistake. I want to confess. Right, I killed somebody. Right, I want to confess about it, and it's a great mistake. I made a great mistake. What to do now?" So now the father will say that again. This is a hypothetical story. Do not take it seriously. Right, but yes, supposed to be true. Right, so now the father of the church will say that, "My dear friend, you need to have a pass. I'll give you a guilty pass. Right, so that because you made this mistake, so with this pass you will go free. Right, so now this Lord will say, "Okay, Father, give me that pass." So father will say that, "Okay, give me 2 lakh rupees. Right, this pass will cost you 2 lakh rupees." So this person will say, "Okay, Father. So Father, can you give me 5? Because maybe I'll do this again. Right, in future also I can make mistakes. So instead of coming back to you, I will have these passes. I can make mistakes. Right, so because you have concentration of money, the society will have such kind of corruption. Church will have a lot of accumulation of wealth, will have such dominance over the society. And not only dominance over the society, Pope will exercise a very, very strong political control. Are you getting a point? Because he commands people, so he will also have a very strong control over the polity, over the kings. Right? He can command kings as well. Are you getting a point? Yeah. Okay. So this is happening in Europe. Right? No growth as such. Now the things will change close to roughly 12th to 14th century, and later on we'll find Renaissance coming, Reformation coming. Right? Renaissance, Reformation. Right? All these things will come. Now this is about now growth. This is about science. This is about new discoveries, etc. etc. We'll talk about this when we are there, or maybe in world history or something. I think we will have this discussion when we are talking about Portuguese, because this is the point. 53 is the rise of fall of Constantinople, and 1498 is the Vasco da Gama coming to India. Now what happened here? We'll talk again. Right, we'll discuss this again. But right now let's come back to RC. Right, till 12th century something is happening? No. Now again, realize this. What happened? Okay, 502. Okay. So yeah. So now again, realize this. Now what we want to establish over here, that till your ABC zone, right? Byzantine Empire is surviving. Agreed, it's surviving. But do we understand that in India also, day by day we are getting weaker, right? And especially after 1000, if we talk about C zone is a chaotic zone, right? Now in this spot, is China strong? No, not at all. Is Europe strong? Right? Close to 1000, do we see strength in Europe? We are realizing no. Right? In fact, till 1000 in this zone, can Europe challenge anyone? Can Europe expand? Is this old Rome? No. Can they expand into this area? No. So now is West Asia or Arab having a free hand? Yes. They have free hand. If they can figure out something over here, things can change for them. Right? Now let's go into the story of West Asia. Are you all aligned to this point? Yeah? Three? Okay, so now let's talk about what happened here, what happened in West Asia. Right, let's hit the core now. And what we are now it's time to hit the core. Byzantine is in the eastern zone. Yes, it is in the eastern zone. Right, it is Turkey on the eastern side. Okay, great. Let's move ahead. Now. So again, we have Prophet Muhammad, right? Prophet Muhammad. Let me show you if we have something in map over here. So we're talking about Mina and all. Let's move ahead. Role of church, etc. We have discussed. So this is the point of Renaissance Reformation. We'll come back to this, right? This mind map is basically from modern India, but yes, we'll come back to this. So West Asia. So yeah, so again, we're talking about West Asia now. West Asia. This spot, Mecca, right? Mecca. So Mecca is the place where we had Prophet, or we had Muhammad. Muhammad was born in Mecca in 570. And by 513, he started to have revolutions. Right, again, right. I'm not having any religious authority to speak over any other religion. Right, same I did for Christianity. I'm really sorry if I hurt somebody's feeling. By the way, disclaimer is on. Right, if I hurt your religious feeling, yeah, kindly pardon. Right, kindly forgive me. I'm really sorry. Yeah. So the intention is I don't have authority. Of course, if you are following this religion, you will have more understanding of this religion. Right. So you can assume that I'm speaking as per somebody who had outside knowledge of the religion. Right. I don't have internal understanding of the religion or the actual practice of the religion. Right. So please do not get offended. This is only for UPSC. Only for UPSC. Right? Okay. And also, whatever I say, I'll not have any personal opinion on this. I'll quote books. Right? I'll quote sources. Right? Wherever you want me, I should tell you book source as well. I'll tell you the source as well. Right? But yes, let's get back. So 570 somewhere. Muhammad, he was born at Mecca. And then by 513, it is said again, mythologically, I'm not sure. It is said that there's a messenger called Gabriel. Right? Gabriel comes to him in a cave. So very close to Mecca, there was a cave, and he used to go there and worship. And there Gabriel used to come, and he used to reveal the messages of God to Prophet Muhammad. And here he realized that he is the new messenger. Right? He is the same messenger as previously also we had messengers like Moses, like Adam, Moses, right, and Jesus. So we had previously as well multiple messengers. So he belongs to these lines of messengers. So he is also a messenger, which is Prophet Muhammad. He's not a god, right? And do not misinterpret this. He's not God. He's not saying that he's God. He's a messenger of God who tells that there is one God. So basically he preaches monotheism. Right? He talks about one God, right, one power, and everybody should worship that one God. Right? Now. So basically he was a trader over here. He was a trader at Makkah. And this preaching started at 530. Now, since he was a trader, and there were other people who were called as Arab pagans. Now, who are pagans? Pagans are basically following various religions, right? Various practices like they will have different deities, right? Different deities to worship, right? And something close to Zoroastrianism as well, right? So they were pagans. So now he started mocking the pagans. He started telling the pagans, now this is the thing you need to do. They were also into idol worship. Right, and you can assume this must be there because Iran and all, idol worship was there. So it must have percolated into this area as well. Right, so idol worship is not surprising. They must be doing idol worship. Right, so now Prophet Muhammad is against these pagans. Right, now what these pagans did, pagans were controlling the trade in this region, in Mecca. So what they did, they realized, this guy is actually, Prophet Muhammad is, they're obstructing their trade, and Prophet Muhammad should be expelled out of Mecca. And that is how he was sent out of Mecca, and he had to go to Medina. Right, so revolution started around 613. He was a trader, and now he had to go to Medina. Right, Mecca to Medina. Now at Medina there were Jews. So he was able to convert a lot of people. He was able to get the help from the Jews, and gradually, via several battles, he was able to come back, and he was able to establish the rule of Islam, or his rule, in this whole Arab area. Right, so by 632, so he was expelled at 622, and he died in 632. So by 632, he was able to establish this Islamic empire. Right, let me show you a map as well. Yeah, Yeah. So this brown part is by Muhammad, right? Prophet Muhammad. So the core part. See, the core part here, Hajjaj is there, Makkah, Medina, we're talking about. Right. So this core part was established by Prophet Muhammad himself. That he was able to establish his first, you can say, domain. This is a Islamic, you can say, domain. First Islamic, you can say, territory was established by him. Right. And also by the way, he also fought with Jews who had supported him initially. There was some internal quarrel, and then he had to fight them as well. Okay. Anyway, so now we realize that under Prophet Muhammad, this area got established. Now what happened after Prophet Muhammad? Also, one more thing you must realize that come back. Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad is contemporary of who? Question. He is contemporary of whom? Let's see what all names we get. Think about this. Yeah, we reached Makkah after roaming around the whole world. Right now, you should tell me he is contemporary of who? All. Okay, good. Harshvardhan. Yes, good, very good. Who else? Yes, he is the contemporary of Harshvardhan. Yeah, anyone else? Pulakeshin too. Okay, good, awesome. Pulakeshin too. Huensang, very good. Pulakeshin. Who else? Huensang. Yeah, so so this is happening in your A zone technically. The story we are studying right now, again, back in A zone, right? So we are talking about A zone. And that is the reason this is you can say one of the reasons that we start from early medieval over here. Narasimha, okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, so you got it. So let's get back. So now after Prophet Muhammad, what happened? After Prophet Muhammad, we started, the community started to think that who will rule from here, right? Who will lead from here? And after Prophet Muhammad, it was decided. Yeah. Okay. So what happens after Prophet Muhammad? So we started from 570. That's the birth of Prophet. But the real story starts from 630, where the revelation starts. Right, 622, he moved. That's a very famous march from Makkah to Medina. Right. Then a famous battle to come back. That is 624. That is Battle of Badr. Yeah, that also you can write, but yes, go ahead. So 632 is the death of Prophet. Or we lost Prophet Muhammad. Now, question arises: who will lead from here? Right. Now, one view is that Prophet is the last prophet, and somebody will have to become the head of Islam, not the Prophet. Right, the successor of the Prophet Muhammad will not be the Prophet, but only become the head of Islam. Right, and this word caliphate or khalifa is used in the Quran as the head, as some head. Right, that is also used for, I think, Prophet Muhammad once, but also it is also used in context to head of Islam. So now the word caliphate came. Caliphate. If somebody will lead Islam, somebody will become head. Right. So that's how the first caliphate, which is called as Rashidun. RASHIDUN. Rashidun, and this is only for 30 years, by the way. Rashidun, only 30 years. 662. That's it. Rashidun. So the first set of heads. This is not one head. This is a group. So there are four caliphs. So one is Abu Bakr. So people made Abu Bakr, who is basically father-in-law of Prophet, as the first caliphate. So from here the concept of caliphate starts. Right, so Abu Bakr. So Abu Bakr is the first. Then second is your Umar, then Uthman, and then Ali. So four Rashidun caliphate. First Abu Bakr, then Umar became caliphate, then Uthman, then Ali became Khalifa. Right. So now all those who believed in this system, that Prophet is the last prophet, this community will be called as Sunni. Right, this will be Sunni community. But there is another community who believed that somebody related to Prophet must become the next head, where the word Imam comes. So Ali became Imam for them. Ali is technically son-in-law. And Ali. So this community who believes in this thing is Shia. Yeah, so Sunni believes that Prophet is the last prophet, but again, after Prophet, Shia believes that the other prophets also will be chosen by God himself, God will be choosing the next prophet, right? So Ali is connected to Prophet, right? And by the line of Fatima and Ali, right? This line will continue and they will become Imam. So that's how Shia believes in this concept rather than this concept, right? Also, initially the caliphate has to be democratically elected, but later on it will become dynasty, it will become hereditary, right? So this is Rashidun. The first 30 years Rashidun, and you see these are also called as rightly guided. Why rightly guided? Why Rashidun? Rashidun means rightly guided. Because all four are somewhere. They have spent time with Prophet Muhammad. Right? They knew Prophet Muhammad and they had spent time with Prophet Muhammad. So the first set of leaders after Prophet Muhammad are called as Rashidun. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, right? All these will be rightly guided Khalifa, right? Or Rashidun Khalifa. Right. Also, one more thing you must understand, it is not only about religion. Right. And whatever is happening over here, it is not at all only about religion, but it is also about political expansion. Right. The religion expansion comes with political expansion. The Prophet Muhammad has expanded into Arabia because he wants to spread Islam. Right. Same thing. Other caliphates are also supposed to do. Right. They have to expand. They have to have political expansion so that Islamic expansion also takes place. Right. It is not about a religion. It is not like, let's say, a religious saint has come or priest has come and it is only about philosophy. No, it is not only about philosophy. We have seen Buddha. For Buddha was not interested in any campaign. Right. For Buddha, it was only about philosophy. It was only about telling people how they can reach nirvana. Right. It was only about philosophy. But here, it is not only about philosophy, but it is also ensuring that we have political control, we have enough control so that we can spread this philosophy. Right. So that is the reason we are observing this map. These caliphate are expanding. For example, the Rashidun expansion, if you see from 630 to 661, right, they have expanded. So this light brown is your Rashidun, the rightly guided. So they have expanded a lot. Right. So if this is Prophet Muhammad, this is the expansion under Prophet Muhammad. So then expansion under Rashidun is beyond this. This is all during the Rashiduns. Are you getting the point? Right. And then the third one, Umayyads will come. Right. And Umayyads, you see, Umayyads have even during the reign of Umayyads, we see that even India got touched. The actual contact they will make, in India during the reign of Umayyads. We'll come back to it, but yes, Umayyads. Okay. So yeah, so Rashidun. So we're talking about Rashidun. So when Rashidun, so Abu Bakr, the immediate successor of Prophet Muhammad, right? Where's the timeline? Yeah, so we're talking about Rashidun. Let's go ahead. Yeah. So when just after the death of Abu Bakr, when we were discussing, when everybody was discussing that who will become the next head, when Abu Bakr came into picture, right? Rashidun Caliphate started. So Abu Bakr, his reign is only for roughly 2 years. Right now, Abu Bakr, if you see, Abu Bakr has to have expanded into Mediterranean plus Sassanid Empire as well. Now again, where is Sassanid Empire? Yeah. So now immediately after your Prophet Muhammad, now they will start expanding. One side they have Sassanid Empire, one side they have Byzantine Empire. But gradually, now we don't have to go ball to ball commentary. But gradually, with this caliphate will be able to defeat Sassanid. They will be able to get a lot of areas from Byzantine as well. We just saw Byzantine, right? So they will get a lot of area from Byzantine as well. So gradually they'll be able to expand, right? Gradually they'll be able to expand. So again, a quick view if you see. So Abu Bakr, some expansion will take place, right? Then during Umar, if you see, so they have expanded into Egypt, Levant, etc., etc. Then some expansion under Uthman and Ali as well, right? Then Umayyad Caliphate came into picture, 661 to 750. So still 750, you have Umayyad. Right now we are interested in Umayyad. Achha, by the way, one more thing you can write. Umar also tried for India, if we can head towards India, but could not, was not successful. Right? This expansion came till Maharashtra, Thane. Not successful, not at all. Okay, let me collect again. Let's recollect what happened. Right, and now what I'm going to say, only this much you need to understand. Right, now think again. We realize that there is the life of Prophet Muhammad, which is dedicated to the spread of Islam, starting from 613. 622 he had left Makkah, and after that he has ensured the establishment of, let's say, Islamic political hegemony over the Arab. So first of all, Arabic Peninsula was the target. Right, then after that we are observing that once he is gone, after that he is succeeded by the Rashidun, rightly guided caliphate, who are basically those who are connected to him, who had spent some time with the Prophet Muhammad. Right, now they will again continue with the expansion, and a lot of expansion we saw, will happen under the second leg, under the Rashiduns. Right, so this brown, a lot of Egypt and all, right? Then towards your Iraq, Iran area, right? All these things, even in Afghanistan they have reached. So a lot of expansion happened under Rashidun. Can you remember this name? Not at all important, right? If you can recognize, good enough. Otherwise, no need to remember these names, right? You can just remember Rashidun, right? Rashidun is good enough. Slight recognition will help, but do not religiously remember. Now again, from 662, now all these four are gone, and from 662 this will become dynastical. Right now it is not somebody democratically chosen, but one Umayyad dynasty will take over. Now Umayyad dynasty is comparatively stronger. Yeah, so Umayyad dynasty is comparatively stronger, and this is the era. Why are we interested in Umayyads? Umayyads we are interested because 712. This is the point where Muhammad bin Qasim versus Sindh will happen. Right, this is the first conquest. Let's talk about this conquest. Right now, by the way, again we are still in A zone. Right, let's not forget we are still talking about A zone only. Are we aligned to this point, guys? Again, do not go into technicality because again UPSC will not go into this direction. What happened in Arab will stay in Arab. Right, our story starts from technically here, but you should understand the background so you understand the logic behind everything. Right, else you'll be having a lot of questions why that happened, why this happened. Prophet's son-in-law. Prophet Muhammad was married. Right, his son-in-law is Ali. Yeah, understood? Yeah. So under Umayyads. So let's see what happened under Umayyads. The story of conquest of Sindh. This is happening in your B zone. Right, let's see what happened. Now in your B zone, sorry, this is all happening in A zone again. I'm sorry, A zone. Now what happened? This is the kingdom of Sindh. Right, this is Sindh. Here we have Multan. The port over here is Dabol. Plus here we have important city called Brahmanabad. Right, all everything what we know about Rashidun means rightly guided because they had spent they had spent time with the Rashidun is not the dynasty, guys. Again, Rashidun is not the dynasty. Here we had democracy, right? Here people were choosing, important people were choosing. He should become. Now they are called rightly guided Rashidun. Reason they had spent some time with Prophet Muhammad. So you can say they actually know, right, what Prophet Muhammad wanted because they had spent some time with him. So they were rightly guided. But later on, Umayyads was a small dynasty there, right? Other kingdom over there, which will take over, right? They will give the power to Umayyads, and now this is hereditary. So from here it is hereditary. Okay, again let's get back. So we were talking about Sindh kingdom, Sindh. So we are talking about Sindh. Multan is not a part of Sindh. Now Sindh basically has Brahmins and Buddhists happens. Right, both the type of religion were there. Now, whatever information we have about this whole story is by Chachnama. There's a book called Chachnama. 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 Right, Chachnama. Now, somebody in the army of Muhammad bin Qasim, had written this Arabic account, but later on, around 1200, somebody else converted into Persian. We don't have the original account. We only have Chachnama. Right, so Chachnama tells us Chach is technically the name of the ruler, the first ruler, or the founder of the Sindh dynasty, the first ruler who is over here. That person is Chach. Right now, Chach. Also, one more thing. Let me add. One more city is Uch. Uch is capital. Right, Uch is the capital. Yeah, let's get back to Chach. So Chach is the basically was the minister of the previous king, and then somehow he became king. So Chach is the ruler over here. Chach. Now he has two sons. One is Dahir. By the way, these are Hindu dynasty. Right. So one is Dahir. One son is Dahir. Right. Not only Hindu, he's also Brahmin. Yeah. So one son is Dahir, and another son is Daharsiya. Now Dahir is powerful and he will succeed. Chach. And once he has succeeded such, what he will do, he will attract, he will invite, right, people who are Arab rebels, somebody, you know, who is not having good relationship with Arab. Like he will also have good relationship with pirates, right? Pirates, so Arab rebels, pirates, and warlords in sin. So he is having such company, right? He's having such company. Now, on the other side, if you see, in sin, there is Hajjaj. Hajjaj is governor of Iraq. So what happened? He and Caliph, right? Caliph is also there. Caliph's name is Walid. Al-Walid. Right? So now they don't like this concept. They don't at all like Dahir, right? Because especially because the type of people he's supporting, that they want to, first of all, they want to get into this kingdom, they want to reach India. That's one thing. Other than that, Dahir is basically supporting Arab rebels. Dahir is supporting pirates. Good for commerce? No, not at all. Also, what happened? Sri Lanka, Ceylon. So king of Sri Lanka was sending some gift to both of them. You know, to both of them. Some gift was coming, but could not. Why? Because there was pirate attack. Right? Because of this pirate attack, these gifts could not reach. Now what happened? Now Hajjaj asked Dahir to apologize, to manage this and get the gifts back. Dahir said, sir, what I can do? These are pirates, these are not under my control. Right? I cannot control them. So now this annoyed Hajjaj. He was very, very angry with Dahir and he wanted to take revenge. He wanted to teach him a lesson. And that is the reason he sent one expedition via land, could not do anything. One expedition via sea, again could not do anything. Then our Hajjaj Chacha asked his Bhatija, Muhammad bin Qasim. He's basically the nephew of Hajjaj. And he asked Hajjaj, can you go and do something? Right? Can you attack? And there is a lot of preparation behind it. It's not so easy. Defeating Sindh was not easy. And now Muhammad bin Qasim will come into picture. He will attack Dabol. He will attack Chach. He will attack Brahmanabad, nearby areas, and then Multan as well. Right? So this is happening around 712. So this is the first invasion where Muhammad bin Qasim was able to get into the Sindh kingdom. Now, okay, this is done. But what is the significance of this? By the way, writer of Chachnama is Ali Kufi. In 1226. Right, one of the very important source. Right, but yeah, okay. Now, what is the significance of whatever happened over here? Now, the first question arises: will Muhammad bin Qasim rule for let's say 20-25 years? No, he will rule for 2 years. And then there are multiple stories why he was killed. There is one story which says that Dahir had 2 daughters. Daughter 1, daughter 2. Daughter 1, daughter 2 were sent to the Al-Walid, right, Caliph. And there they had gone and complained to Al-Walid that we were sexually violated by Muhammad bin Qasim, right? And this was something which actually made Walid very, very angry. And he asked that please kill Muhammad bin Qasim and bring him now. Right, bring him, and he must be sewn in the skin of cow, right? And I want to see him dead over here. That was one reason. That is one reason why he was killed. Right. Another story comes like the other caliphate after Walid was Suleiman, and he was not happy with Walid or Hajjaj or Muhammad bin Qasim. And within 2 years, Walid was changed from caliph to Sulman. Salman became caliph. And because he was angry or he has animosity with Muhammad bin Qasim, so he ordered immediate killing of Muhammad bin Qasim and as well as Hajjaj as well. Right, so that is the second story how he got killed. Third story is he was placed in prison and there he died after some time. Right, so we are not very sure how exactly it happened, but can we say that the administration got installed over here? Right, Arab administration. Now this is the question. Arab administration. Now we expect that even they got Multan. Multan is more like city of gold, right? And Hajjaj has said that don't only defeat Sindh, but also defeat Multan. So it was the original plan to defeat Multan as well. Like Multan has so much gold. But the question is whether we will have Arab administration over here. Arab administration. So now, Caliph, if you see Caliph or Hajjaj, both are of the view people, the area, defeated area, should continue with the original administration. Right? Brahmanabad defeated. Brahmans reinstalled. So actually there is no administration over here. Right? Second, there is the concept of Zimmi. Now you will say that whether there will be a mass conversion, whether there will be any kind of proselytization. Proselytize. Won't they proselytize? Proselytize. Something like this. So will they proselytize? No. They will not convert into Islam because in the expansion they have learned, right? In the previous experience they have learned, they should reinstall the administration. Let the people practice whatever they want to practice. If they practice Buddhism, it's okay. If they practice Hinduism, it's okay. They will be called as Zimmi till the point they pay tax, right? If they pay tax, they are under the protection, right? They are under our protection, their protection basically, right? And basically this additional tax is also called as jizya. So Zimmis are basically non-Islamic citizens under protection of Islamic rule. I hope you got this point. Now the question arises that a famous saying that this was a triumph without results. Yeah, so this means that this is a triumph without results. Is it so? There will be no result. Very soon Muhammad bin Qasim will be dead, right? There will hardly be, you can say, any impact of Arab over here. This will become Arab principality. But even though this will become Arab principality, but we hardly care. Right? They will keep on ruling over here, but the Indians, they will keep on ruling Sindh, but Indian dynasties, especially let's say Gurjar Pratiharas, they will hardly care what is happening over here. So they cannot further penetrate. So this has hardly made any dent in India. Right? Nobody is worried about this. Nobody is fearing that there might be some Arab conquest or something. Right? So is this triumph without any result? Now, right? Again, let's look at it. Result. Is there any result? So immediate political result we can say no. But cultural result, Yes, a lot of cultural result will happen. Right. First of all, they will get to know the culture of India. We'll get to know their culture. A lot of intermixing will happen. Our books related to mathematics, astronomy, medicine like Sushru Samhita, Chara Samhita, it will move to Arab. A lot of translation will happen. Similarly, a lot of books from there will also come to us. A lot of scholars from India will go to Arab side. A lot of Arab scholars will come to us. Right. So that's how a lot of cultural exchange will happen. And eventually, Arab becomes a melting point of knowledge. Right. It becomes a melting pot of knowledge. Arab becomes like it has knowledge from Europe, whatever they had. It will have knowledge from China. It will have knowledge from India as well. And as a result, by 10th century, by 1000, they will be so knowledgeable that they can start contributing. Right? First of all, you study history, but then you study so much history, then you start contributing to history. Something like that, to any subject, not only history. So something like that. By 1000, they started contributing, and that is the reason a lot of subjects like algebra, right? It is associated with your Arabs. Right? Trigonometry and all, the seeking height is associated with Arabs. Yeah. So this cultural exchange, the cultural thing will happen. But apart from that, any political consequence? No, there is no political consequence. There are only cultural consequences. I hope you got this point. Okay. So let's get back on the timeline. So we have seen Umayyad, we have seen Muhammad bin Qasim, and for next 250 years. Right, we can say the next dynasty over here is Abbasids. Who will first of all rule till 1258. We are already till 1258 right now. So our holes, B zone and C zone, are all under Abbasids. Everything is under Abbasids. Are we all aligned at this point? Right, the whole story is under Abbasids only. So we saw Rashidun, we saw Umayyads, we will see Abbasids. Right, Abbasids, you don't have to mug up a lot. Right, only three are there: Rashidun, Umayyads, Abbasids. Rashidun we have already seen. Now let's see what happened under Abbasids. Rashidun is not the dynasty. Umayyad is a dynasty. Prophet Muhammad worshipped one God. Yes, he believes in monotheism. That he believes in power. That Allah is in power. Right? As far as I understand. Okay, so Abbasids, the story of Abbasids. Prophet worshipped Allah, no? Yeah. Now let's get back. What happened after this? Right? We saw Muhammad bin Qasim. Now let's get into the other zone, right, where B and C together happen. Walid is of Umayyad dynasty. Yes, Walid. Umayyad. Yes, there will be multiple. At this point, there is Walid. You can add Walid over here. Right? You can say the caliphate is Umayyad. Under Umayyad, there is a governor Hajjaj who had sent Muhammad bin Qasim. Are you getting the point? Because again, you have one king or basically one head. Under that there will be governor. So Hajjaj is the governor, right? And he had sent Muhammad bin Qasim. Now, let's focus. So Abbasids. So let's move ahead. So now after this, there will be, you can say Abbasids will come into picture. But by 1000, power of Abbasids is not that much. Right? Their control is not that much. They are ruling from Baghdad. Right? Let me take this forward. Or we understood, let's go forward. Right, so yeah, the power of Abbasids, if you see, the power is declining. It is not, you can say, as much controlling, it is not as much centralized. So their control is now gradually declining, power of Abbasids. So now we are into B plus C zone. We have finished 750. Let's go beyond A zone. Right, let's talk about 750 to 1000. So first of all, I'm targeting B zone. A zone now we know. Right, let's see B zone till 1000 what happened. Okay, so now we are into Abbasids. Let me show you how Abbasids look like. Now Abbasids initially, if you see roughly 850 AD, you see Abbasids have also expanded. Right, Abbasids. This is the reign of Abbasids. Very, very huge reign. Right, Abbasid reign includes your Sindh, by the way. Are you getting? But not only Sindh, but the upper part as well. So this is under Abbasids. Right, then this area is called Sistan. Right, this area is called Makran. Similarly, your Central Asian part over here, this includes your Afghanistan as well. This is Afghanistan. This part is called as Khurasan. Now, I don't want you to make map and write down where is Khurasan. I just want you to have a rough understanding. If somebody says Khurasan, you should understand that this is Khurasan. Somewhere, of the northern Afghanistan and the upper area. And then there is Transoxiana. Again, on the northern side, right, there is Transoxiana. Right, so these words will keep on occurring. These words will keep on happening even in Mughal era as well. Right, Khurasan, Transoxiana, Sistan, Makran. Right, this will keep on coming. And that is the reason we need to know it. So Makran, Sistan, Khurasan, Transoxiana. You see that we have a big empire, very, very big empire over here. This is of Abbasids. Now, but we must also understand that Abbasid caliphate must be somewhere here, right, ruling from here. But the point is, gradually, this power is not, this control is not that deep, right? Gradually, there will be some local centers here and there, and here comes your Turks. Now, let's try understanding what is happening over here. We started our story from here, right? We started our story from here, which is Arabs. Now, the number of Arabs is less, right? Arabs are very less in number. Now, as they are expanding, you realize that there will be a lot of tribes which were earlier fighting with each other. Now they are converting to Islam, and they are not Arabs. Are you getting what? They are not Arabs. They are now getting converted to Islam. A lot of time will happen that they will come back from Islam. We don't follow Islam. But mostly we are realizing that with this expansion, now they all are following Islam, and this means that this is multi-ethnic. Right? This must be maybe a lot of people will be tribal, and now they are converted to Islam. Right? So now they all follow Islam, but they are not Arabs. Right? All of them are not Arabs. Arabs were here. Arabs are less in number. So we say that it is Arabic invasion, but a lot of time it has nothing to do with Arab. The person is not Arabic. Right? So the tribe will be something different. Okay, we got this point that Arab number is low, and there will be a lot of tribes coming in. Such tribe from Central Asia, one of the tribes is Turks. Right, one of the tribes is Turks. Turks initially, they are non-Islamic. Of course, they'll be non-Islamic, they'll be non-Muslims. And when this expansion happened, they also got converted to Islam. So now Turks are also Islamic. Initially, Turks will be, slaves. So getting converted, becoming slaves. Somebody hired in army. Somebody being hired as mercenary. Please help us fight. Right, somebody working as palace guards. But gradually, because they were great with respect to war, especially they were awesome, when it comes to cavalry and all. Right, so gradually they attained a lot of power. Right, gradually they will attain a lot of power. So these Turks will gradually become important. Right, and by 1000 we will see that the Turks are getting importance, and a lot of small governor will be Turks, and they will call themselves, the head will call themselves as Sultan. So Turks use this word Sultan. Now Sultan will become so popular that even if there is some non-Turk king, they will also say I'm also Sultan. Right, Sultan is Sultan. Right, Sultan. So this is how this word Sultan will come. Yeah, so these are technically terms. So one such story we are going to discuss. That story is of Mahmud of Ghazni. We are approaching 1000. Right, we understand that Abbasid Empire is there, but Abbasid Empire is not controlling everything. This is the age of conflict. Age of conflict means, when you read this term age of conflict, this is not only with respect to India. 1000 to 1200, you have age of conflict. This is not only for India, but this is the age of conflict. There are a lot of tribes, they are fighting with each other, fighting for power. Yeah, okay, so let's see what happened. Now, so we have seen this, let's move ahead. So we are approaching your, by the way, this timeline will help you visualize. There are 3 invasions. First, we have already seen 712 Muhammad bin Qasim. Now we are approaching 1000, right? The point we are discussing from the very first class. So now the time has come for Ghazni attack, and third is Ghori attack. Right, okay, so now we are going for Ghazni. So let's talk about Ghazni now. First Arab invasion we have already seen. We are talking about Chachnama, written by Ali Kufi. This is Persian text. Okay, so impacts of Arab invasion we have seen. Abbasid we have seen. This is Abbasid Empire, right? And but not at all in the good shape. Okay. India, we understand the Rajputs are there. 1000 to 1200. Gurjapati is declining, and this is the time for Rajputs, right? We already know that. Now story starts from here. Now there's a Samanid Empire. Now what is Samanid? We don't care. Somebody is there, right? Somebody in Iraq area, basically Persian, right? Persian. And they were having a lot of, you can say, control in this area. Right? This is Samanid. Now one of the Samanid emperor. One of the Samanid ruler Ahmad hired one Turkish slave, because Turkish slaves are there. I told you how slaves are there. So hired one Turkish slave who is Al-Batajan. So he is a Turkish slave, right? And he wanted Al-Batajan to reign at Balkh. He installed him at Balkh, Afghanistan, to rule Afghanistan. So he installed Al-Batajan as the governor of Balkh. Now you will say, sir, how is that possible? You saying that this is a slave, right? And this person is a slave, and now you're saying that he was installed as a governor. And if a slave becomes governor, I also want to become a slave, right? And it looks like that. How is that possible? Okay, so now think about this. Slave are 2 types of slaves, right? There are 2 types of slaves. One is your slave which is like gulam, which does menial work, which provides service. Right, menial work is provided by this kind of slave. Let's service and all. The gulam, you ask them for domestic purpose, maybe you ask them to clean the house or something. Right, that is gulam, right? Menial service. Second type of slave is called as Mameluke. Right? Mameluke slaves are the slaves which have intellect, right? Which are sometimes learned. And they are bought, so it is more like, suppose you are ready to do the job, right? And so now you are an employee. Employee is like you can be fired, right? After some time, after when you start, maybe after 4-5 years, when you think it's not working, you can leave the job, or you can be fired. Both the cases are there. But suppose company says that as an employee, we are not hiring you as an employee. We are hiring you as a company person, right? And we are hiring you forever. You will never ever be fired, right? You will be always given this much amount of money, right? And we want you to work for us. You are like our own. So Mamluk is somebody who is hired forever, right? Who is somebody who does the job. He is a warrior. Maybe what talent you are hiring. He may be a writer. He may be a learned person. He may be a warrior, right? So for these things, the slaves are hired. Slaves are bought. Right now they were available for buying because of the condition. They wanted money. They also want to work for. You can say your only permanent contract is available. You cannot have temporary contract. If you want to work for, let's say Ahmed, then you have to get hired. You have to become slave. Then only you become his general. So after becoming this general, now Al-Batajan will also be like, sir, I want to work for you. So he becomes his slave. He becomes his Mameluke slave, not Mamuli slave, not Ghulam, but Mameluke slave. So Mameluke slaves are different. Also, it is believed that a person can have few sons, right? Who can take his kingdom forward, but he can have thousands of Mameluke slaves. Are you getting a point? Right? You can hire thousands of slaves and then you can take your kingdom forward. But sons can be few only. So slaves are also used for expanding your empire. We'll see it later. Let's get back now. So Al-Batajan was installed at Balkh, and this is happening close to 960. Now somewhere around 963, it is more like he is independent, and he started ruling. So from 963 to 977, he ruled, and then he had Sabuktajin. So next he was succeeded by Sabuktajin. So when Sabuktajin started ruling at this place, by the way, let me show you the map as well. So we are talking about one more thing. Okay, we'll come back to that. So we're talking about Al-Batajan. Al-Batajan, basically, if you see the map, the main center is Balkh. This is Balkh, right? And he is the governor of your Afghanistan, Balkh area. This is Ghazni. Ghazni is slightly south of Kabul. By the way, I had asked you to make this map, right? This will be super helpful. If you have not made it, please make it today. Right? So Kabul, Ghazni. So very close to Kabul, you have Ghazni. So now Al-Batajan started ruling it. After Al-Batajan, you will say, after Al-Batajan, Sabuktajin comes, who is basically son-in-law of Al-Batajan. He's also a slave. A lot of time you will see that slave gets married to the daughter of the person. Right? And so now he will start independent dynasty starting from 977, starting from Ghazni. So he will make Ghazni as the capital, and he will start ruling from it. Ghazni is the capital. Right, now when Ghazni is the capital, we see Kabul, and Kabul, close to Kabul we have Ghazni. Right, Ghazni. Now Ghazni is a new capital, now being ruled by Sabuktajin. Similarly, on the other side, at Peshawar, right, we had Hindu Shahi dynasty. Oh, now it got connected. Hindu Shahi dynasty. Right, approaching 1000, Hindu Shahi dynasty. Sabuktajin, if you mark Sabuktajin, it is 997 to 998. 998. By the way, Peshawar then was called as Waihind. So Peshawar is Waihind. Right, and if they come in, right, they will have to fight at Waihind. Right, if they come in, they are bound to fight at Waihind. Yeah. So now, to Jaipal, there right now thinks that he should attack Sabuktajin. So he will collect other people from here, and he will Hindu Shahi dynasty Jaipal will attack Sabuktajin. So this is the first attack with the Sabuktajin. Right, successful? Not at all, of course not. He will not be able to get anything over here. Then Sabuktajin will hold his ground, right, and Jaipal will not at all be successful. Jaipal will also be held by those who are ruling Ghazni earlier, right, but still Jaipal will not at all be successful. Now after Sabuktajin, the rule is being, you see Hindu Shahi dynasty over here. Yeah, this is Hindu Shahi. Okay, after Jaipal, Muhammad comes, and Muhammad is technically son of Sabuktajin. right? See the year, and we were waiting for this time. This is 998 to 1030. You will die in 1030. So 998 to 1030. Now your hero of Islam comes in. Muhammad comes into picture, right? Muhammad. By the way, his name is Amir Muhammad, but he's from Ghajni. He will become Mahmood of Ghajni, right? And then he will become Ghajni itself. Otherwise, Ghajni is not his name. He is Ghajni. He is basically Mahmood from Ghajni. Like I'm Abhishek from Lucknow, but then I become Lucknow itself, right? Something like that. So his name is not Ghajni, but yes, right? So now Ghajni comes into picture, and if you see his empire, Ghajni, he will expand, right? And 998 again, 1000 technically, he will expand. So Balkh and Ghajni we were talking about. This is Ghajni, this is Kabul, Lahore, and he's known for raids. He's known for various raids. Last raid is Somnath. Right, so let's tackle one by one. What is happening right now? Let's start with Ghajni. Okay, so now, so he is taking over the rule at 998. 998. Ghajni, timeline of Ghajni. He dies in 1030. Yeah, and in this reign, in this total 13 years, right, his last attack is around 1035. Sorry, 1025. So in this era of let's say 27 years, he had raided India for 17 times. 17 raids in total. Right, 17 raids in total. Now he started with again close to 1001. He had first Battle of Waihin. Battle of Waihin. Because of course he cannot move forward without defeating Jaipal. So this is first battle. Right, now Jaipal will be so embarrassed after this battle. He will lose. So Jaipal will lose of Hindu Shahi dynasty, HS dynasty. He will lose, and he will pass the kingdom to his son Anandpal. This was something which we had left yesterday. Anandpal, right? Anandpal will also try to suppress him. He will try to fight him. He will ask help from the Rajput as well. But again, close to 1008. This is happening again in Waihin. This is also termed as Battle of Waihin II, but it is also called as Battle of Chhast. All these things are same, right? So by 1008, Anandpal will also be defeated, and he will have to sign in a treaty in 1010. Again, wall to wall is not important, but we must understand that they both were defeated. So Jaipal and Anandpal, the Hindu Shahi dynasty, is defeated. Also, it is believed that Jaipal burned himself after the first defeat. He committed suicide. Yeah. So by 1010, he you can say Ghazni is already free, and now he can move further. Then by 1014-15, he has annexed Lahore, and he sacked Delhi. Plus, let's not say sacked, let's say attacked Delhi. But wherever he goes, he loots. So he is known for looting. Plus Thanesar. So one is this one. This one is famous. Second, in 1018, he had attacked Kannauj. Kannauj was very famous. This is like one of the most important power centers. So let's destroy this. 1018. Plus, he had also attacked Mathura. And when he reached Mathura, he was like surprised by the kind of beauty the city has. It was a very, very beautiful city, and there were a lot of temples. And those temples have a statue of gold. Right? There were five you can say 5 statues which were purely gold and could not be lifted alone. Right? They had to be broken into pieces, and then only they can be carried forward. So what he did, he realized, and these DT, these images had eyes of ruby. Right? So they were very, very expensive. So he was getting a lot of money. So he's known for plunder. He's known for looting. He's known for loot. Right? And he's also called as iconoclast, somebody who destroys the images. So he burned all the temples of Mathura. Right? It is said that few temples he had left in Mathura. First of all, he had destroyed the whole city, and then few temples he had left in Mathura just to show people what he has burned. Right? You should know as well what he has burned. Right? So that is the reason. So he has destroyed the statues and he has burned the temples. Right? So yeah. So this is the story of Mathura. Second, then 1019 somewhere. So Kannauj, you remember Kannauj is Pratihara. Yeah, Rajpal had fled, and then he was caught by Vidyadhar. So 1019 he has also defeated Chandela. Vidyadhar. Now you know both of them. But after defeating Vidyadhar, he could not understand what to do with him. Right? So he said, okay, you give tribute. So he took tribute from Vidyadhar. You have already seen the story. So he only took tribute from Vidyadhar. Chandela. So defeated Chandelas as well. Then his reign, 1020 to 1025. This is mostly, he's attacking Central Asia. Mostly his time is being spent in Central Asia. Also, 1018-19 is the time where he brought Al-Baruni with him. Al-Baruni. So Al-Baruni accompanied him for this thing. Right? Okay. So Central Asia. After that, he had heard a lot about Somnath temple, right? But he was also worried that Solankis are strong. So attacking Somnath temple. So 1025 is basically his raid on Somnath temple. Actually, by the way, over here he had killed like some 50,000 Hindus, and he took slaves like 5,000 people from here. Okay. So let me explain one more term, Ghazi. But before that, let's continue our story. And I'll come back, otherwise I'll forget. Okay, so now, Al-Baruni. So he raided on Somnath temple. Now this raid was tough. This raid is not at all easy. So if you have to raid Somnath temple, first of all, it is under Solanki. Right. Second, one way to reach Somnath is via Thar Desert. In the Thar Desert, there are more looted. Right? If you go with your things in Thar Desert, you will be looted. Sorry, it was not at all easy. And in winters of 1025, right, he decided to march via this and reach Somnath, and again plundered. Somnath had a lot of security. Somnath had it is again very, very rich temple, a lot of gold, a lot of jewels. It was like it was like a city in itself. Right, a lot of dancers, a lot of musicians were actually associated with the temple. Right, and he killed most of them. Right, a whole massacre and all. So Here also he will kill a lot of Hindus. Right, thousands of Brahmins and all will be killed over here. Yeah, and then he will take this money back. A lot of people died by going back. Even while coming, also a lot of people died with him. But he had this aim. I have to reach Somnath. I have to get money out of Somnath. Right. So this is the final rate. That is Somnath rate. Now, again. First of all, why? So we know Ghazni. Ghazni is actually not at all Afghanistan. If you see, it's not a very rich province. Right, it's not a rich province. And Mahmud wanted he should actually get into the war of or get into the politics of Central Asia. Was he having money? No, he was not having money. How to get money? To attack India. Loot. So one of the reasons behind the loot was this. Right. Also, because of this loot and plunder, he also became hero of Islam. He said, "I am spreading Islam." Right. He's also called Shikan. Shikan is basically means somebody who destroys images. Right. Somebody who breaks idols. Because Islam does not believe in idol worship. Islam believes in monotheism. Islam believes in one God, and that is also not, you cannot see how the God is. You don't know how the God looks, right? It don't have any shape. Right? It's a power, and you have to worship that power. Right? So again, he's also called Shikan. He's also destroying images. He's iconoclast, right? Somebody who destroys images called as iconoclast. So he's hero of Islam. And from this hero of Islam, this word Ghazi comes. What is the Ghazi? What is Ghazi? Ghazi is, a war, right? Or basically a war which is meant for the spread of Islam. War which is meant for the spread of Islam or support of Islam. So if you go and participate in this war, you are a Ghazi soldier. Right, so now because he has shown or he has declared he's doing this for Islam, though the real idea is he has to get money, right? And he needs those jewels, money and everything. The real idea is that, but he has declared that this is mostly all these plunder and loot and everything is because of Islam, and that is the reason. A lot of mercenary soldiers here and there, they will say that it is a fight for the religion. So let's join our friend, my dear friend Ghazni, and then join. So he will get a lot of support for that as well, like that as well. There's a cause for the religion, so let's go and fight. Yeah, so this is also happening during his reign. Okay, so this is the era of Ghazni, right? So we have seen why he's doing it. Let's talk about another aspect about him, which is if we see Ghazni, again Afghanistan and Persia, right, Iran and nearby. So Ghazni is very much inspired. He loves what? He loves Persian culture. Right, he loves Persian culture, and in his reign also, he wants to support Persian culture, and that is the reason he has Firdausi. Firdausi wrote Shahnama. He also has Qutbi. He has Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni wrote Kitab-e-Hind, Kitab-ul-Hind. Right, and he also has Qutbi. Qutbi wrote one book, Kitab-ul-Yamini. He's his court historian. Okay, let's talk about them as well. Culturally, very, very important. Let's talk about all these contributors. Okay, so we are talking about Mahmud of Ghazni, right? He's Mahmud of Ghazni, right? And we have discussed his raids and all. Indian society now we have already seen. We have discussed Battle of Wahind, etc. Battle of Wahind 2, right? We were discussing his attacks, 1014 attack, 1013 attack, etc. Right? Then Somnath discussion we have done. Patronage given to Al-Biruni, Firdausi, and Qutbi. Let's talk about them. Okay, so Tahqiq-e-Hind or Kitab-ul-Hind, right? Both the books are same. Kitab-ul-Hind or Tahqiq-e-Hind. Tahqiq means research, or basically investigation. So there is Tahqiq. So Tahqiq-e-Hind. So let's talk about Al-Biruni. You can write two more. One is your Uzari and Unsuri. These are also Uzari and Unsuri. Two names also associated with his court. Okay. So now let's talk about our the thing. Where is Kitab-ul-Hind? Right, Kitab-ul-Hind. So Al-Biruni we see. So Al-Biruni has understanding of everything. He has understanding of languages, a lot of languages he knows. Right, for example, he knows Persian, he knows Arabic. We can write this down. Wait. So Al-Biruni. So first of all, he is from Uzbekistan, and hired by Ghazni, Uzbekistan. Right, he wrote Tahqiq-e-Hind. Or Kitab-e-Hind or Tahqiq-e-Hind, both are same. Right, now if you see Al-Biruni, the biggest thing he is he's a mathematician, but he's also a geographer. He's also called one of the first anthropologists. So he has understanding of society as well. Right, he knows multiple languages. Right, languages like Persian, Arabic. Then Syrian Hebrew, and then Sanskrit. So he came to India and he met some Brahmins in northwest side and he learned Sanskrit and he said it's a very, very tough language, man. I know so many languages, never seen such a tough language. So he found it very tough. Also, he's not very much well versed in Sanskrit. Right, but yes, he learned Sanskrit as well. Right. Plus, he also had read philosophy of Plato. He has read Plato. Plus, he has translated few books. Very, very important. So he has translated Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. This is of Patanjali. Right. Plus, this he has translated to Arabic. Yeah. Plus, there is one more book, Euclid, Book of Euclid or Maths. Right. This is Greek maths, and he has translated it to Sanskrit. Yeah. So, by the way, the book. Yeah. So in this book, again, let's get back to the book. In this book, he has come to India, and here he is not commenting over political aspect. Like minimum comment on political aspect. He's not commenting on political aspect. Mostly, he's interested into geography. What is where? Plus, he's interested into society, social aspect. Right. So he will talk about. So let's talk about society. Other than that, he'll talk about astronomy. he will talk about alchemy. Yeah, so let's talk about society. So society, if you see, society, major discussion is about society. So he says that here also you find a caste system, which is similar to other societies. So there is nothing unique as such. Right, same bifurcation we see in other societies. Right, even in Iranian societies and all, we find similar bifurcation. Yeah, somebody is priest, somebody is practicing, agriculture, somebody is king and family. Yeah, the same thing is happening over here. So nothing else. Plus, he has also observed that he has observed our festivals, our manners. Right, we celebrate a lot of festivals. Right, then customs. Then he's talking about iconography. We are into idol worship, iconography, sculptures. Right. Then he also has said about laws. Laws. He says that our laws are dependent upon Dharma Shastra. They are based upon Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastras. Right. So he has noticed